who are Blues fans. We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues!
Presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St.
BlueNote Fan Report. Yes, that's right. It is time for the BlueNote Fan Report. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the show that is by a fan for the fan, and you got to know absolutely about you, the fan. How are you all doing today? Yes, I am still on the day-to-day injury list, but I decided to be here for one special reason. No matter how I was feeling today, something happened, and because of that, I absolutely knew I had to be here today. I knew it, and I'm waiting for this person. I want to make sure that this person is here before I talk about it. So I think this person knows who it is. I tagged him, and I hope when he shows up, if he can just say he's here, then I'll talk about it, because I don't want to talk about it without him here. And I hope he listens. I hope he'll just say the words here. Just let me know. And if he doesn't want to say it there, send me a private message, and let me know that you're here, so I can. So I can talk about this. I just want to know that you're there. Hi, Gloria. How are you? Welcome to the show. We greatly appreciate your support. So I'm hoping that he shows up. I tagged him. I will talk about it, but I just want to give him a chance to show up before I do. Okay, so he's here, and I know that there's people coming, and I know if you ever wanted to share this show, now is the time. This is the time to just share it to your page and say, this is something you guys need to see and listen and watch. I'll give you a minute to share the show to your pages, because I got to talk about this. And Anthony, I hope you're okay with it. I really do. This is, I started this show 4 years ago, almost 5, it was my 5th season. I started this show in October of 2018 because I had gotten to the lowest point of my life, very, very low point of my life. And I was, I needed something. And I was doing these group updates live in a group, and I'm no longer in that group. That group has removed me for whatever reason. That's fine. That's on them. That's not on me. But the thing is, trying to pull this up here and get something. The thing is that actually, in all actuality, none of that matters. What matters is that I started the show because I knew I needed something for my mental health. Now, I needed something for my mental health, and that's what this show started as. And it was a way for me to connect to people, right? And through doing my videos and things like that, and eventually the live shows, this was a way I was connecting to other blues fans, other veterans, other people that shared similar likes and dislikes of me. This was my way of connecting. Now, Anthony is one of those. Anthony is someone, I don't exactly remember when he started following me, but Anthony started following me. He's a Blues fan. He started following the show because of that. I just, it was, and yes, Matt, Bruins fans too. Okay, Matt, yeah, Bruins fans too. Anthony was one of those guys that just connected with me, and we have had a few conversations in the past. Anthony knows what's going on with my mental health. I have told him in the past. Today, I want to get this right, so you got to give me a moment, right? I posted yesterday. I posted, you know, you all know what's going on with me with my hand, right? You all know that I'm dealing with this. It's not easy. And I'm trying to make sure I find the right post that he put today. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Okay, I'm trying to find the right stuff, bud. And all of that. I put a post out today that today is like a second bad mental day for me. And after I posted, I got a few things, but then I was scrolling. I was scrolling through my wall, and I came up with this. And give me a moment. I want to make sure. I came up and I saw this. Right? And it was, got to remember that I have to add it to your stream. There we go. I saw this post here from Anthony. And Anthony said, Anthony goes out, until you have struggled, and I mean actually struggled with depression so bad it hurts physically and mentally, and you have no one to turn or talk to, do not tell me you have no support system. Try crying out for help and get no one sending you messages. In return, confirming no one gives a shit. And yes, this is coming from a dark place that is residing in my brain today, so go ahead and report it like you usually do. I knew where Anthony was. I knew where he was. And you know, people, he ended up having a few comments, and one of my comments was, I was the first one to comment, and I said, I'm in the same place today. I feel you. But that wasn't enough for me. That wasn't enough for me. So I did something else. I messaged Anthony. And I told Anthony, man, what's going on? I said, hey, I'm feeling it too. And then I told Anthony to call or text the suicide prevention hotline. You know, to me, that's the only, I'm 4,000 miles, 4,200 miles away from where Anthony lives. I can't be there. I can message him. I can talk to him. I can't be there. But I can give him an option. I can give him a chance. I can give him something that he can use that will help him. And that's what I did. I asked him to contact the hotline. And, you know, I texted him a little bit later, hey, I need to know you're okay. And I've had my rough day, you know, my arm is hurting. I can't do anything. So I end up taking a pill, a Tylenol, not the codeine. I'm not taking the narcotic, and going to sleep and doing that. You know, it's not simply easy. But then I got this, and I need to show this, and it's right here. And it's, I will never feel ashamed for texting this number ever again. Thank you, Guy Bensing, for pushing me in the right direction this morning. Man, I don't know what else to say. I stopped doing my TikToks because I felt like, you know, none of the people watched. I was worried. You know, no one cares. No one watches. No one, you know, they're not getting views. This and that and the other thing. And I came to realize just now, doesn't matter if 1 million people watch. It only matters if the right one watches. Anthony watches. Anthony knows what I'm going through. Anthony knows I called that hotline about 2 months ago. Anthony knows that I'm a mental health warrior, that I fight my mental health every single day. And because Anthony knows this, Anthony was able to call the mental health, call that hotline today. And they were able to give him the help he needed. Right? Anthony, you showed me today why I do this. This is why I do this. This is why I do this show. It's a hockey show. Yes, it is. But it's also a show about life, because hockey is life. And for us to have a chance to give, to help you, for me to have that chance, and I really feel like I did nothing other than reach out. That's all I did. All I did was reach out. Anthony said it's cool, nothing to be scared or ashamed of, and the conversation I had on the phone with you today was definitely something I needed. He says, you helped me with the loss of my dad as well. I owe you my life, man, and to be honest, me too, guy, and I'm happy you helped someone. It doesn't matter how many watch. It matters if the right one watches. That's the thing that I want everyone to get. Just the right person. Anthony, you were the right person, and thank you. I thank you. Right? I absolutely thank you for giving me the chance to message you today and share my struggle with you, so that you could prevail in yours. That's all I got to say, Anthony. Thank you. Thank you so much. Matt, you're absolutely right. Anthony, I'm fighting back tears, dude. I'm fighting back tears. I really am. Right? I'm fighting back tears right now. I'm just thinking, what if I hadn't seen your post today? What if I hadn't had my bad mental day? What if I hadn't had that day where I didn't scroll through Facebook? What if I hadn't seen that post? Right? I mean, for me to see that post, the universe was talking to me. Karma was getting me back. Karma was saying, here, you need to help someone like you've been helped. Karma told me to read that post. That's what that was. That was karma telling me to read that post. And it wasn't just me putting a thing there. I'm there, bro. Just because, see, some people don't like when I do that. They think that I'm trying to minimize what they're going through, and I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm not trying to play ones-upsies. I'm trying to let you know I'm there. I know it. I've been there. I understand it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not playing one-upsies. But I was able to take the next step, and that's a thing that I normally, there are a couple other people that I know that I deal with that are dealing with mental health on a very serious basis, right? And there's one that has said some very seriously mean things about me. This person gets drunk, and he has messaged other people that know me, seriously drunk, and Really, what should I do? I should block this guy. I really should. I should block him. I should do what people have done to me. Fuck him. Get him out of my life. Right? I don't do that. I don't do that. You know why I don't do that? Because that person needs me. That person needs me to say, dude, that's not cool. What you did is wrong. You need to apologize to the people that you reached out to and said those things to. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He reached out. And that's the important thing here, guys. Right? Understand that we're here for each other. This show, while it's about hockey, it's about friendship. It is absolutely about friendship. That's what it's all about. I don't want you to be listeners. I don't want you to be followers. I don't want you to be viewers. I want you to be friends. I want you to be friends of the show, just like Maddie. Right? That's what I want you. That's why I want you to watch the show. Not for my knowledge, not because shit, I'm not that knowledgeable. I have opinions. I'm opinionated just like a lot of people are. I see things the way I see things. Maybe it's the way you do. Maybe it's not. Maybe you agree with me. Maybe you don't. Ask Matlow. Ask Nitro, or who's the other one that really doesn't agree with me a lot. There's others that don't agree with me. Right? Ask them. They'll tell you. But that's not what it's about. It's about friendship. And that's what this show is about, because I want you to know that that's my goal. That's the goal of this show. Fuck no, I don't. The goal of this show is always going to be friendship. And speaking of that, let me welcome in somebody who I absolutely consider a good friend, Mr. Lance Scott from the Drop. Hey, Lance, how are you doing?
Hey, Guy, how are you?
I am doing great. Have you been able to see most of the show today?
No, I was actually finishing eating and realized, oh my goodness, it's after 8 o'clock.
So you didn't get to see what happened. You might want to go back and watch.
Okay.
Basically, somebody, someone who's watching, put a Facebook post like I do, and I ended up asking this guy to call the hotline, and he did.
Yeah.
And that's what the beginning of the show is about. That's why I do this, for friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you know that. I think you know that that's like extremely important with me.
Yeah.
If this was, we can get you another time, Maddie. We can get you another time, bud. Well, I appreciate that, Tammy. Let's talk a little hockey now. I know I just spent the first 20 minutes talking about that, and it's important. We're not going away. If you still want to talk about it, go ahead. But we're going to get into hockey, because Lance sent me something today, and it got my juices flowing, and I want to talk about it, and I want to let Lance talk about it, and then we'll go from there. Lance, I'll let you take the mic for a little bit.
Well, a lot of people are blaming the players. You and I have talked about it, that this is all on the players. The coaches are doing everything great. And it's a weird instance here in St. Louis, because a lot of times fans will turn on a coach long before they'll turn on their players. And this is a little bit different situation, but every game I try to watch a lot, and I pick up on a lot. Some things I see, some things I don't see. Some things I get told that weren't on the local TV broadcast for Bally's. For instance, last night I did see Jordan Kyrou skating. I don't know what happened, and you could hear, because he was close enough to where you could hear somebody yelling at him, and he just put his hands up, like, "What the hell do you want me to do?" Well, then later on, Berube was yelling at Tarasenko. I didn't see this. One of my media contacts in Arizona told me this, that Berube was yelling at Tarasenko for something, and Tarasenko gave it to him right back. It just like, hey, shut up. I don't know what exactly was said, but it wasn't kind words between the two. Let's just say that. And Guy and I have been saying all along that Kyrou is frustrated. And I think that instance last night with Kyrie going, what the hell do you want me to do? It shows that some of these players are frustrated. And, if it was just this, I might just think it was in the heat of the moment. But we've got stuff like Thomas in the locker room. You and I saw that, where Thomas said, it's the same message. It's the same message for all these years. Something needs to change. So, put all these things together, and they make a pretty compelling argument in my mind that not every player on this team likes playing for Craig Berube. And yeah. I'm a guy that goes for evidence, and there's a lot of evidence out there. Local media doesn't want to say it. They all want to blame the players. But you've seen me quote Scotty Bowman all the time. Scotty Bowman says it's a coach's job to put players in positions to where they can succeed. And he's also said, don't expect a player to do something he cannot do.
Yep. That's a good point right here that Jason says maybe it's why Perron walked, and it might be.
Because it was only over $750,000 why he walked.
Yeah, well, it was term too. Well, he got 4. Did he get 4 in? I think he got 4 in Detroit, where he only got offered 2 here.
I thought he got 2 in Detroit.
Did he get 2 in Detroit?
Yeah,
okay.
He got 2. Yeah, same contract, just $750,000, but more expensive or more
a year.
money in
Yeah.
Detroit. Yeah. Really, Robert? Seriously? No. I'm not making this up. I don't put stuff out there because I know a lot of other stuff, and I've told Guy stuff that's turned out to be true. I'm not going to put it out on this show because people will say, no, you're making this up. You don't know what you're talking about. And Guy will attest to it. And Guy's told me things that he's heard through his contacts that I won't say ever, but it's turned out to be true. I'm sorry, guys. This team is maybe not all the players, because I haven't heard that. Yeah. This team, a lot of these guys do not want to play for Craig Berube.
Yeah, I absolutely. I'll tell you what. The practice I was at on my birthday.
Yeah,
it was a spirited practice, and it wasn't like these guys were, yay, it's a spirited practice. They were not happy with the practice. Hey, Maddie, I can't see you, bud. Are you going to do it without video?
Real quick, when you're talking about a mad practice, yeah, we used to call those angry practices.
Well, they said it was called spirited.
Oh, no, I used to call them angry practice.
Yeah. And I watched and I paid attention to it, and I did. And I watched the media members. I paid attention to them. Mm-hmm. I was actually surprised that they allowed me up there with them.
I was too. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, there was nothing to block them, block me off, but they could have told me, hey, you're not supposed to be up here or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, Jim Thomas was up there. Tom Timmerman was up there. People that knew me were up there. So that gave me a little bit of
a little bit of slack.
Yeah, a little bit of slack, I guess. I didn't get to go behind the velvet rope, but I did it. Then we appreciate that, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
Well, for me, it's obvious. The eye test is telling me that. Maddie, I'm not seeing you, bud. Are you in your car? Maddie, can you hear us? Hey, Maddie, we're not seeing you at all, bud. I'll take you out right there. It's obvious to me that there's something going on, right? And it's not like, now we haven't heard anything about Thomas. Now I know they practice at Mullet Arena today, but we haven't heard anything about Thomas. And I didn't see if Thomas practiced or not. My guess is he probably didn't.
He didn't. He's not good. He's not good. Mm-mm.
Right. I don't think it's broken ribs, because it didn't hit him high enough to be broken ribs.
It's not broken ribs. Mm-mm.
Right. Mm-mm. But it got him in a pretty good spot. I mean, it could have. I'm worried about it being a spleen, and it's just me speculating. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Lance, it's so easy to blame it all on the coach. There we go. Hold on.
No, I mean, I understand why you're saying that, but one thing I want to say to you, Robert, is this team has had players come in and out of this lineup all year long. You know, from the AHL, calling guys up. You know, Bolduc even came up from the juniors and played a couple games, I believe. No matter what player's in there, this team's playing the same way. Now, I could see if some of these guys got hurt and players come in and the team gelled and played differently, then you could say, hey, maybe these players are the problem.
Yeah.
But there's other things that go on behind this scene that I'm not going to say, because the person that told me things, they'll find out who it was. And I'm not going to say that. I can say this stuff about last night's game because there's plenty of media members from Arizona. You know, there's plenty I could be talking about. I'm just not going to say it. But Guy knows me. If I don't think something is true, I'm not going to say it. I don't say it.
There's been times you said things to me that I didn't believe that I've held off on. And if it came true, great. And if it didn't, okay. I took it as, misinformation. I know misinformation happens. I know these guys are out there to give us misinformation. I know a prominent media member that gave me misinformation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right? I know a prominent media member that gave me misinformation, straight up. That's why I never said it.
Hey, Maddie, how you doing?
Hey, Maddie, sorry to ignore you there, bud.
Do you think the Bruins are going to lose 10 games this year?
Absolutely. Don't know how many in a row. But...
I mean, my goodness. I mean, I've gone back and there's a few teams that have had a season similar, but not for a long time like this.
I would say 2013 Blackhawks.
Yeah. You're about right. Yeah. So it's been.
Well, I mean,
years.
you got to look at this. That team. I don't know what Montgomery's put in the water, but oh my goodness. And I'll tell you, I admit, I thought Hiram Montgomery was wrong. I didn't think he was far enough away from his issues. And that's a concern to me.
Yeah. I can tell you one thing. They like Montgomery a lot better than they liked their coach last year.
Well, Cassidy decided to join Vegas, and he's doing all right. But
he's doing all right.
He's you always see that the Bruins, they always go after, like old-time Bruins, like, oh, well, we're going to put this guy as our thing, like Don Sweeney, Cam Neely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good energy, but then it's like, Cam Neely saying, oh, well, yeah, there shouldn't be no fighting hockey. It's like calling the kettle black, the pot kettle, and you know what I mean.
That's like Probert saying there shouldn't be fighting in hockey.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of, these guys, gelling. I mean, it's unbelievable what they're doing right now. And me and you talked about this, Lance. I said to you last year, I was like, is Swayman and Omar going to be the duo? And I said, and I straight out told you, I was like, no.
I didn't think so either.
But something let us spark up both those guys' asses. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like these guys are on fire right now.
Yeah, I think Omar's lost, what, 2 games? Two games? Yeah.
Yeah. And, in the Winter Classic, I was like, I thought that they were going to be worse than they were, but they came out swinging against Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh's one of those teams that'll sneak up on you. But because of their age and stuff like that, I don't really know how good they're going to be. It's not like they're, like the old Detroit Red Wings that you guys don't really like. But, the Red Wings of that time in the 90s, then it started getting in the 2000s. It's like, are they going to still keep getting better? Then Datsu came and all that. But, I mean, I hope the Blues turn it around. It's just, I don't know, with the injuries and all that stuff, what's going to happen with the Blues right now?
Yeah, and I forgot who your goalie coach is, because I've watched Ullmark this year, and he looks different. He looks a little bit different than he did with Buffalo, and some other times I've seen him. He's taken better angles to the puck, and I don't always look at a goalie and look at his save percentage and goals against, but damn, his goals against is a 2019 Jordan Binnington-esque 1.87 goals against.
Well, the thing that bothers me is, I hear from other media and I hear from different things, just like you, Lance. I don't tell who and stuff like that, but it's like, in certain aspects, it goes from the player to the coach to the personnel, like Adam McQuaid's join in and all the old time Chris Kelly, even to the announcers. Like the announcers, honestly, to me, have to go. They have to go. I don't like Jack Edwards or Andy Brinkley whatsoever. Brinkley was a washed up player, and he came in and did all this crap. Who would I rather have? I would rather have Chris Nyland, for God's sakes. His knowledge of hockey is incredible.
Fun. That'd be fun.
But
yeah,
hey guys,
because I've watched a couple Boston. I've watched a couple Boston games, and the way they call it, even for a Boston fan, it wouldn't be fun for me to listen to that.
It's not. It's disrespectful toward the other team.
Yeah.
Laughing about
that
things,
happens a lot with some of them. I want to address this. It says, we just disagree. You guys have had it out for Berube since the bubble, night in and night out. If they win, you guys say they win despite Berube. It's a witch hunt. Well, I want to dispute a little bit of that. Last season, in December, when this team had all the COVID stuff and all the injuries and things, you watched the youth get in there and you watch the style of play change. I kept putting it on Berube. Wow, the coach is putting the right players in the right position. The place coach. I kept putting it on that. I put last season. I thought Berube made the right moves last season. Look at this season, though, and I don't think he's making the right moves. Kyrou is confused. Thomas is confused. Tarasenko, he moves up and down the lineup. He can't do his job. And then you got people out there saying Tarasenko's lazy. Tarasenko's the least lazy player on the team, and yet everyone appears to think he is. The lazy player doesn't lead the team in points last season.
And Robert, I don't know if you heard Guy and myself at the end of last season or during this season. Last season, several times at the end of the season, Guy and I both said we thought it was bad that Berube didn't get consideration for at least top five of the coach of the year. And we all said that. He did a great job last year. We said it time and time again. But this year, this year reminds me of his last year in Philadelphia, is what it reminds me of.
Well, here's where I go, Robert, and I'll be honest with you. I'll look at this. I look at this, and John Cooper has coached. He's coached Tampa for a while, right? Like 7-8 years, something like that. He's like one of the longest tenured coaches. Okay, but he took them first to the President's Trophy, got bounced in the first round, got swept in the first round. Not just bounced, swept in the first round. Comes back, wins a cup, comes back, wins another cup, and then takes them to the playoffs or to the finals again. And basically, almost with 3 different teams. Now, he had some of the same core, but he lost his second scoring line. They all got shipped out between cups, right? They've had to switch up players left, right, and center. Yet John Cooper keeps changing his game to meet the players he has. Berube came back with the same team in 1920, and coming into the bubble, this was the team that led the Western Conference, won the Western Conference in the regular season. The Western Conference champs in the regular season. Do you think that their talent is that much better than ours? I don't. I don't think that their talent is that much better than ours. I think that our talent matched up with them evenly going into the bubble. I think that we should have beat them. That team did not buy into the message in the bubble, and I had 4 different media members tell me that.
And one thing, I don't think the coaching staff in that instance didn't set a good example, because you remember the 3 or 4 games they played before the playoffs?
Yeah.
And people were asking, the Blues look bad. They lost all these games. And Berube says, well, we're just trying to get our legs to get ready for the playoffs. And, he didn't look at those games as being important. And that's totally wrong. Totally wrong.
I agree there. I do agree there.
Yep.
Now look, so are some of the players playing like shit? Yes, there are players playing like shit.
Yep.
Colton Parayko should have absolutely been benched the last game. No way he should have been on the top pairing. Yet there he was on the top pairing. Whose choice is that? Whose choice is that? He needs to be benched. He needs a healthy scratch. You demoted him to the third line. You called him out in public. You absolutely called him out in public. And then what do? You put him right back on the top lineup. What message do you send? None. Just because of what you get paid, that's where you're going to be.
Well, I actually thought that he had a decent game against Arizona. I thought it was one of his.
Oh no, he was
games.
junk.
There was
junk.
There was several times where he made some good plays. At least I noticed some.
Yeah, but nothing worked. Nothing worked against Arizona. Right?
I'll say one thing that, just like you can talk about the coaching staff all you want, but look at Philadelphia, where they had John Tortorella now. They thought, oh my God, like we have him now, he's going to whip these guys into shape, and they still suck, and they have injuries too. But there needs to be something done in the Philly organization because it's not acceptable in their eyes.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Philly is it's going to take them. It's going to take them a couple of years to get. Tortorella's going to have to whip that whole team into shape and change culture. The problem is in St. Louis, the culture. There's no culture issue. The culture's there. The problem is you have a coach who constantly berates his players publicly, and then expects them to go out and play for him. At some point, that shit doesn't work anymore. They have told, Robert Thomas told the media, it's the same message and we're tired of hearing it. Told him that. He said that. And everybody just backed off it.
Well, that's why you have a couple of captains. You have the captains go up, and you got some of the players go up and say, hey, we're tired of this shit. We want to band together as a team to say, hey, knock your shit off. You're embarrassing us in the media standpoint. And some of the players don't like fucking talking to the media anyway. So do you want it to be your whole team just stops talking to everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is if they're berating your team, if you're berating your team, like, we like in Boston, we've had Cassidy. Cassidy's he's been that type of guy. Claude Julien was kind of, half and half. He would give his team shit, but he wouldn't attack them on shit. Mm-hmm. Now this Montgomery guy comes in, and it's like it's a blessing for the Bruins, and it's like we got a young team now.
Yeah, you do.
We still have a young team, and it's a blessing in disguise. Now, this could be another like me. I'm a Bruins fan, but I'm just being honest. Like we could win the President's Trophy and then be like the Washington Capitals 4-0.
That's not what we're seeing, Robert. Robert, here's the thing. A coach needs to be able to know what players he needs to push, because there are players that do need butt chewings to get them to really play up to their potential. And there's players that need coddled. You've got to be almost a psychologist as a head coach. Yeah. You really do. And I want to go back to this, and I wasn't going to say this, and I didn't bring it up for a reason, but he's just saying, people are saying that, Berube this, Berube that. Do we remember when Armstrong had his press conference and said, and I told the players, the coach isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think he just blurted that out? Or do you think maybe some players went to him and had some talk with him about Berube? It's the latter. Some players went to him complaining about Berube, so he nipped it in the bud in the locker room by saying that. He didn't have to say that. Well,
he didn't nip it in the bud.
No, he didn't nip it in the bud.
He exacerbated it.
I'm saying is that he answered the question to the players, because he's had players go to him this year. And I wasn't going to say it, but he didn't just all of a sudden bring it up and go, guys, we need to play better. Oh, by the way, your coach isn't being fired. There's a reason he said it, because players have went to him and had issues with Berube.
Right? There are players on this team that have not played up to their potential or their value. I will admit that. Right? Parayko is the first one that comes to mind. Barbashev comes to mind. I want to say, I know a lot are going to say Bennington. Bennington to me doesn't, because I think that there are other players that defense has let him down. We have spent way too much on defense for what we're getting. Way too much on defense for what we're getting.
And we're getting a lot of injuries too on defense.
Yeah, but at some point,
Guys are tired.
Yeah, possible.
Guys are tired.
They're either tired or they're trying to get back into shape.
Either one, yeah. Either one.
All right. Now let me ask you this. I'm going to ask everybody watching, and there's not a lot, but I'm going to ask you guys: has Tarasenko played up to his value? Has Tarasenko given you what you expect out of Tarasenko this season? And I want your honest opinion. I'm going to ask you guys' honest opinion. When I'm saying it's like when our prima donnas like Oshie got Hitch fired. I thought Oshie was traded before Hitch got fired.
No. Yeah.
Oshie was traded before,
but it was part of the reason. And the reason was Oshie was upset that he wasn't being used the way he thought he should be used. The Blues were using him around the perimeter, skating around with the puck and making plays. And if you watch his most success with Washington, he's in front of that net about 15 feet out.
He was only out 3 weeks, Mike. Yeah. He was only out 3 weeks, and he's back. Yeah. Right. So
let me ask.
Go ahead, Matt.
Now let me ask.
Go ahead, Matty.
For the St. Louis organization, has it been? Do your alumni ever go back and talk to these guys?
All the time.
Guys like Brett.
All the time.
Like Brett Hull.
Oh, yeah. I know Jamie Rivers talks to him a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, who you really need to get back is Paul Correa.
Correa's not really considered a full-on alumni of the Blues. He only played here for like 2 years, maybe 3 years, and he was injured most of that. Right?
He's not, but he appreciated the fans of St. Louis.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he was appreciated by the fans of St. Louis, but I don't think that – I mean, he doesn't – if you ask him what team he would I think he would be more with the Ducks than he would with the Blues.
Well, I mean, I know that. Yeah, I know.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, Matty, see, we got this B in the alumni booth, right? Me and Lance in the alumni suite. And
I got you. I might know who.
We were there with Barrett Jackman, with Campbell, Soup Campbell. We were there with Terry Yake, who doesn't live in St. Louis but was in St. Louis with his kids. And those guys were telling us, about being, talking to the team and that, and telling us what they think's wrong. And I just know that I feel like there is a big disconnect between coaching staff and players. And that's fair. That's a fair point, Robert. That's a very, very fair point. I will give you that. That is a very, very fair point.
Yeah, every player's accountable. Every player is accountable for how they play on the ice.
Right. Not seeing you again, Matt. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Don't worry, I wasn't upset. I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, no problem, man. No, I know, man. I know. First of all, Matty, thanks for joining the show, and sorry about the first half of the show there.
Well, I wanted to add to that.
You're more than welcome.
Just like you said, and I appreciate what you did for that young man and saving his life and stuff like that, for just a simple thing saying, "Hey, are you okay?" I appreciate that from you telling that. And at the same time, I appreciate you guys for coming on my show and we talked about hockey and we talked about life, and that's what it is. We're about friends and family, and this is what your show shows, and so does mine. I say it at every end of my show. I don't care if you come on my show again, you're considered family. So I appreciate that, and mental health is very important. So I went through a very traumatizing time where I didn't think I was going to have things happen. I thought I was going to, I gave up, and almost, I was in a medicinal,
dark place.
I was in a dark place, but I was coming off of meds that they told me were good for me. And for 2 months, I was in a medical withdrawal. So I had to come down from everything to get back up to a normal thing. So that when I said that earlier, Guy, that, you're not alone or anybody, because this is an everyday thing for me, you, everybody. So I appreciate this show 100%. And what you do for people is huge. And you help me too, guys. So.
I appreciate that, Maddie. I always bitch. I bitch and complain, and people hate it. I bitch and complain about the viewership. Well, I want to do this professionally. To do it professionally,
yeah.
Marshawn sucks. What the perfect timing. But at the same time, I realize today that it doesn't matter. I could have 10,000 people watching. It's as long as the right one watches. Right? And Anthony was the right one at the time. And because Anthony watches, and Anthony knows what I deal with, he was able to listen to me today. And that's what's important. And I'm not trying to take anything away from what Anthony went through today. Please understand that. Not taking anything away from that, and not saying I did anything special. I didn't. All I did was reply to a message and then send him a private message and ask him to call the hotline. That's it. I didn't do anything other than that. Right? I even made a joke. I even said, hey, man, I don't have a lot of viewers and I can't afford to lose one. And I made it as a joke, and I'm hoping that he took it that way. Right?
Sure,
but that's all I did. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to toot my horn. I'm not trying to do that. Hey, Lance.
Yeah.
Even Robert loves you, man.
Well, even
Right?
even the small things, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Lance. Well, of course you remember. Like, I messaged you I think it was a couple days ago, and I said, hey, man, how are you doing, and all that stuff. And we talked a little bit, and like you said, oh, everything's good, and then, it's small things, like when you say, like, hey, your show's awesome, like, and I appreciate that. And then that's what it is. It's just a revolving circle of friendship,
Everybody helps everybody.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. I mean, that is what it's about. And, I've had people use this show to screw me over and to make themselves better. And you know what? If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But I'll tell you what, the people that really know and really care, they're going to be here. Right? That's all there is.
That's what I said on my show was, I said it in a post not too long ago. I said, I do this show for fun. Oh, you not hear me now?
I can hear you.
No, we're here.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that, like I said, I love my show. I like what I do. I don't care if I have, and I put like a shit ton of numbers, like 173,400 followers. And I said, I look at my screen and I see those numbers. I could care less, because the one who's enjoying it is me. And that's how I see everybody should feel. Like, I'm not a fucking Joe Rogan. I'm not Don Cherry. I'm not any of these people, but I love what I do. And that's why, like, I had Guy on my show. He still holds the record for longest show.
What do we do? 2 hours, right?
I think it was an hour and 40.
It was just short of 2 hours. I think when he edited it down, it came out just short of 2 hours.
Yeah, and that was one of the funnest ones because we talked about life and hockey.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta. Well, duh. Well, duh.
Morton, you're the best.
Yeah,
Where's Benson? Where's
I
Benson?
do. See, that's the thing. I'm realizing, the friends that I got, and you look at with this surgery, right? This surgery, in all actuality, was nothing, right? I got a metal implant put in. It happens probably every day. People get stents and things put in their arms or in their bodies every day. But for me, my body almost rejected it. And
Oh, really?
I went through a lot of pain. I went through a lot of suffering Monday night, Tuesday morning. And I was in so much pain that I was crying. I was on my couch at 2:30 in the morning crying because my arm hurt so bad. And I wouldn't take the medicine. I mean, my body is yelling at me to take this hydrocodone Tylenol, right? The mixed tablet. Take it. I have leftover oxy from when I broke it a year and a half ago. My body is telling me to take it. My mind is going, take that shit. Take that shit, And I'm going, no, I can't. I'm crying. I couldn't sleep. I said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm going to go to I called an Uber because I didn't want to wake my wife up. And, she's got to go to work. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I called an Uber. I had an Uber take me. And now here's the thing. I'm limited to where I can go because of my type of insurance. I'm a retired and I'm on veteran insurance. So I have 2 different TRICAREs, right? And it limits me to where, because I live so close to a TRICARE hospital, that is where I'm supposed to go. Now, at 2:30 in the morning, knowing that my doctor, who I got through the VA, is at a completely different hospital, right? I'm not going to Tripler. I'm going to the hospital that he works at, where they know him. They can get, they have my medical records. They have everything that happened to me. They know it. So I went there, and I went there. And I got in there, and I walked into there, and I had tears streaming down my face. And the nurse and the check-in people, they were like, how much pain are you in? And I'm like, the worst pain I've ever been in. They took me in right away. They had a doctor come see me right away. They gave me a shot in the ass. They gave me 2 more of the hydrocodone. They upped my dose, and they let me. And then I had them come check my fingers because they were so swollen that, to me, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking they're turning blue. They said, no, we're checking them. They're okay. But, they ended up letting me go home. I post that stuff, and I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't post about this. And I'm getting people, hey, man, glad you're okay. We're thinking about you. And I didn't expect that. I really didn't. And it takes some, it's good to understand and to know that these people that I've connected to through this show, through my love of hockey, care for me that much. You go look at my friends list, and I have 3 groups on my friend list. 3 direct groups. And I'll tell you what they are. They are my high school friends, people that I know from St. Louis, high school friends. They are my shipmates, and I shouldn't use that finger. Well, yeah, I will use that finger for my shipmates, right? And then they're my hockey friends, my Blues and hockey friends. That's it. Those are the 3 connections, right? Maybe there's some outliers there, but
you're missing
you're
missing a Bruin fan. You forgot the Bruin fan.
Lance.
The what?
You forgot the Bruin fan.
Well, that's the hockey. I said hockey.
Okay.
Right? Bob Morton says I'm in the asshole group. Right?
That's a private group.
That's a private group. That's a private group right there, guy.
Yeah. This isn't even a cast.
No, that's not
right.
a cast.
This is a splint.
Yeah.
Right? This is soft.
Yeah.
Right? This is just a wrapping. This is just a dressing. I'm not even getting the cast yet.
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
And the asshole group. Yeah, we already know that. But I know that I've got people, sending me private message. Hey, are you doing okay, man? What's going on? Are you okay? I appreciate that. I never expected for the thing with Anthony to happen today. I would have never expected it. I stopped doing my TikToks, my mental health TikToks and my Blues TikTok, because I looked at the numbers and they just weren't there for me. Right? It takes to do one of the decent TikToks, one where I put the little, music and all that. It takes a good 2 hours.
Yep.
To do that.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
TikTok itself, the platform it uses is you can only use that on your phone. Like the TikTok that you use on the computer, I have to use the platform from mine. I have to use the video editing software from mine, and a lot of that, the one that I did, we just disagree, right? I used that, and you noticed because it cropped it too much. It didn't give me what I wanted, the full screen, because I got to work on that effect. So in order to do this, sometimes it's not an easy, and especially now with one hand, right? I have no use of this hand right now at all. I can't hold anything in this hand. I can't grab anything. I can't lift anything. I can't push the shift key because I can't feel the shift key being pushed.
It honestly took me a day and a half to actually, try at least have it work. I got it down a little bit, but I'm dealing with MMA fighters that, I'm sponsoring now. I have 2 of them now. So it's like, it's a good thing for, publicity and stuff, and to help your show out and whatever. But, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like I even have problems with making stories on Instagram, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. It's not as simple as people think it is, and somebody's, and then, so I decided a lot of them, I just talk. I didn't add other stuff to it. I just talk. And some of those have done, now my reels, the same reels that I put on Facebook have done much better than they ever have on TikTok. Like my best TikTok is 600, where that same reel got 4,400 views on Facebook.
Well, when they cut it down, and then it's like, where's the other part? It's like, because they can preview it before they click on it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what they do. But
hold on.
I don't do reels.
Well, TikTok is a reel, right? If you take it and share it over, it counts it as a reel. The thing is, me, you, Lance, Maddie C, and everyone, it costs $0 to be nice and care for each other. That being said, fuck Kadri and can't be nice to that Fruit Loop.
Morton, you're the best.
That is, man.
And what's his name? What's his name? I forget.
Atlow?
Jason?
Yeah, Jason.
Jason. Yeah, Jason Nichols. Yeah, no, I've got some good followers and some good fans. I only got 3 likes on my Facebook, people. Gloria Steeper, Maryland Listener, and Jason Nichols. All you other Facebook people that didn't put your thumbs up, shame on you. Shame on you, all 4 of you. Oh, 1 or 2 of you, maybe. I don't know. No, I've got good fans. I got good people that watch us and you guys make me feel good. Tomorrow's game, Blues are taking on the Colorado Avalanche. The Blues are taking on the Colorado Avalanche. This is an early game, 1 o'clock I think 2 o'clock St. Louis time. Game is 10 o'clock my time, so 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30 is the show, 1:30 St. Louis time. We'll be here with the Blue Note Fan Report. We'll be here throughout the game. I don't know how much of a reaction show I'll do. I couldn't do so much of one with the arm the other day. Hopefully the swelling's going down. I think, Lance, you can see, you've seen me.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah, I can tell the difference. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's going down a bit. Yeah. So it's getting better. We're all hoping that things come out better. And this is an important game. The Blues have got to win this game.
Yep.
I mean, it just lost to 3 of the bottom teams in the league. Right. I mean, Buffalo's not a complete bottom team, but they're down there. And now you're facing a team that's ahead of you in the standings. You got to beat them. And this is important. You've got one more game before the All-Star break, and then you've got 10 days off, right? Because we got our bye week right after the All-Star break. So, you know, it all comes down to this. You either fix it now or it doesn't get fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it comes down to. And I don't see Berube being back after the All-Star break.
Well, I think if you're Armstrong and this team continues to do this, how long do you wait? Do you keep Berube here and have confidence in him next year? But let's say you lose O'Reilly and you lose Tarasenko and you lose Barbashev. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you lose all those guys and he comes back next year and the team doesn't have enough talent to compete. Let's just say that. And they're bad again. I mean, there comes a point to where, okay, he's had 2 years since the Stanley Cup, basically, or 3 years. This is his third season, I believe, total after the Stanley Cup.
Fourth.
Well, he was 2018-19, 2019-20.
You're right. 19-20.
You're right.
He had 21. He had 21-22, and now 22-23. This is his fourth season.
This is his fourth season, and his first half season was great. They won the Cup, and since then, they've done nothing.
All right. Well, now he was good up until the bubble.
No,
right?
I'm not saying the team in the regular season's been bad. Yeah. I'm saying when it gets to the playoffs, they falter every time with him, except for that first year.
You know, no Blues coach has a winning record in the playoffs.
That wouldn't shock me.
No Blues coach, none, not one, has a winning record in the playoffs.
That goes to show you why it took 52 years to win a cup.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, actually, I gotta think about that. I would think that Bowman might have a winning record in the playoffs.
Well, he's gonna have all those.
No,
losses.
Actually, he might not.
I don't think he does because of the losses in the finals.
No, well, but he remembered in the second year they went 4-0, 4-0, 0-4.
Yeah.
Right. So he had 8. So he was 8-4.
Yeah,
but I think the year before they had 2 7-game series before they got swept, so that might have affected that.
If he's not under it, he's close to 500 probably.
Yeah.
Either he's
sorry, I'm like James Bond over here.
I was going to say,
no problem. We're going to be cutting this short here, anyways. There,
either you're running the microwave or you're setting a bomb to go off. I can't figure out.
No,
which one it is.
I'm setting the alarm to my building I'm at.
I'm just teasing
everybody. But I forgot the guys are working overtime in there.
Oh.
So we could have had the town police department.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
Yeah. Well, it was a great show tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie, thank you so much for showing up tonight.
Anytime, buddy.
Anytime. Love you guys, man.
Yeah, love you too, guys.
We'll talk again soon.
We sure will.
Yeah, we will, Maddie. And if you ever want me on again, Matt, all you got to do is ask, bud.
Hey, tell your wife and that sweet little Sadie that we all said hello.
Yep. Absolutely. And Guy, one more thing. We need to get that friggin' top 5 hockey movie show going. So
yeah, we do.
Yep.
Yeah, we do. We need to get all 4 of us together, you, me, Lance, and Ashley, and do that show. That's an off-season show, though.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Not really. I would do it in a regular season.
Well, hey, we can do it all-star break.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we got a big all-star break for us. I mean, we got that whole week of the first week of February. The Blues have nothing. So yeah, we could do it then. We could try and get it and work with Ashley, or maybe get somebody else to come in if Ashley can't do it.
Yeah, make it a special, man. Like make it like an event or something.
Yeah. For me, actually, you can't do 5. It's got to be 10. I got to do 10.
All right.
I think you got to do 10 because if you do 5, you're leaving out too many good movies.
Well, I know the top movie is the one with the chimpanzee, MVP, I think it was.
MVP. That movie's crazy.
No, that doesn't even.
That movie's crazy, Maddie.
Yeah,
my top 5. My number one is not everybody's number one. I've already told people this.
My number one's not everybody's number one either.
Mine's Youngblood, man.
Mine's Youngblood too. Yep.
I'm Youngblood. Youngblood's in my top 5. Actually, it might be just outside of my top 5. My number 1 is Mystery Alaska.
That's a good one. That's in my top 5.
It is a good one.
That's in my top 5.
Mystery Alaska. If you want to know if you when you say hockey is life, that movie shows that. Brad, we'll be on tomorrow, Brad. So it's a day game, so hopefully you can join us.
Yeah, Brad, that'd be great.
I know a lot of people love Slapshot, but for me,
I love it too.
Slapshot went
but it's so over.
It's over the top.
Yeah, it's like if you're a hockey fan and you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost you there for a second, Matt. So we will work on that, and then see, like for me, everybody loves Miracle. Miracle's not in my top 5.
Well, hold on, guy, hold on. Miracle on Ice, a totally different movie.
Is in my top 5.
Yes, with Carl, what's his name?
Carl Malden.
Carl Malden.
Carl
Yep.
Malden.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Right.
that was what's that goofy ass guy? He was in Short Circuit, the fucking dude.
Oh yeah. Oh dang it.
I know who you're talking about.
I
can't
can
think
see
of
his
name.
face. I can see his face.
Stephen Gutenberg.
No,
Steve
Gutenberg wasn't in that one.
I thought he was.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think Gutenberg was.
I thought he was on Miracle
No,
on Ice.
the guy that was in it, the guy that you're thinking about, is the guy that got cut. The last guy cut from the team, right?
No.
Is that the guy
was,
you're thinking about?
No, it was.
No?
I forget. We're gonna have to have a movie.
Look it up. But see, the guy that was the last guy that got cut, that was, because remember, this is the thing that a lot of people forget. Herb Brooks was the last guy cut from the 1960 Olympic team,
Yeah.
the one that won the gold medal.
Yeah.
So he had no issue cutting somebody. He had no issue, and the last guy that he cut, this guy. Now I know this is going to really freak some people. He played Jan Brady's husband in the Brady Wives.
Yep.
The Brady Brides. That guy played that. So that's why, because I had just seen that, and that is why I watched that one. Oh, I would never. Goon doesn't even get on any of my list. Any of my list. I did not like Goon at all.
Gutenberg was Jim Craig, wasn't he?
I thought so. Yeah.
Was he Jim Craig?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look it up.
This is a kid born in 1988 that knows that shit.
Yeah,
Hold
that
on,
was
hold
Steve
on.
Gutenberg.
I'm going to look it up now, so hold on.
That is a really good friggin' movie, though.
It is a great
It
movie.
was. Now, the reason that I like that movie better than I like Miracle was because there was one thing in that movie that they took out of Miracle that was so freaking important that it was like, when you watch a movie, you see something and you go, this is what the movie's about.
I remember exactly
that's the thing they took out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the scene you said. See, I watch your show, guy, because I remember what scene.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, sir. Eruzione and Brooks.
Eruzione and Brooks, they had a conversation, right? And basically,
Steve Gutenberg, as Maddie and I said, was Jim Craig.
I'm looking now. I don't see it. Oh, yeah. Gutenberg played Jim Craig in the TV movie Miracle on Ice, 1981.
Yep.
And right down the street is Southeastern, where he was from.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So
We
they
can talk
had
hockey all night and day.
So they had a conversation, and Eruzione, and see, this is the thing that pissed me off about the new one, is they made it like Eruzione was going to be cut, right? Eruzione was never going to be cut. Eruzione was tagged to be the captain on this team from the get-go.
I didn't get that from the second movie.
Oh yeah, no. Watch it when they bring in the kid.
Yeah,
they bring in the kid.
Yeah,
and Gutenberg or Eruzione goes and tells him, "Look, I know him coming in means that I'm gone."
Yeah, but
let me tell you, Mike Eruzione is a fucking asshole, and you heard it from me because I've met him.
Yeah, I've heard
he is the biggest fucking asshole, and he is a disgrace to Boston University.
People have
BU.
Yeah, people have told me he's very full of himself.
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's like, okay, buddy, you want to talk about Ken Morrow? Won fucking Stanley Cups like a motherfucker. Neil Broughton did too.
Mhm.
Like, I don't like, you won a gold medal. That's great. And then if you really want to see a good hockey thing, is watch the opposite side in the documentary on ESPN. That's of I forget what it's called. It's the Russian side of the.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
That was an excellent documentary.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And
They asked Tritiak if he'd seen Miracle, and he said, "No, do we win?
I lived it.
Only
No, that
if we
was,
win. That's
no,
the
that was,
miracle if we win."
No, that was who was the fucking top line there? Boris Mikhail, Mike, Michael.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
He's like, no, that's not even our DNA. And then Treniak's like, oh well, we took them to Madison Garden, we kicked their ass, and he's like, we won 12-3. They're like, no, you won 10-3. He's like, all these years I told them we won.
But that was on purpose. That was on design. Herb Brooks set that game up on design. That was by design.
Problem.
But the scene I was talking about, so I got off it, is so Brooks is with Eruzione and Craig, and they're having a conversation, and Eruzione's telling Brooks, look, man, I don't know when you're talking to me and when you're talking to team, and it's getting really hard for me right now. So he tells him, okay, fair point. When I say Eruzione, I am talking to the team. If I say Mike, I'm talking to you. Very next game, he calls the team out. He says, Eruzione, da-da-da-da-da. And then he turns around and goes, Mike, da-da-da-da-da. And you can see Eruzione, the guy that plays him, absolutely change his demeanor and how he plays and his leadership in that. Right. That is the moment they won the gold medal. That meeting is the moment they won the gold medal. And the fact that was not in Miracle, to me, makes Miracle less of a movie.
Well, here's the two things with that. One, Miracle is a Disney movie, so they're not going to do all that shit. Miracle on Ice, though, is a better depiction because they didn't put it in the Disney movie, okay? Yeah. The Minnesota guys fucking hated the Boston guys.
And the Boston guys hated the Minnesota guys.
Yeah.
Back and forth. And then nobody knows this. Nobody really pays attention. They only see the movies. But me, myself, a hockey nerd, just like you guys, I saw what fucking teams the Russians played. Yeah, sure. You're gonna be great in the Olympics when you beat Japan 19-1, or when you play Norway or all this shit. The Americans had legit teams that they had to beat. I think the only team the Russians beat that was fair was Canada. But we had to play West Germany and all this shit. Like, the Russians didn't have that much of a tourney, but, it was a miracle on ice, but
the miracle happens. So there's three steps to me to the miracle. Step one is the Eruzione Craig meeting, right? That's step one. Step two is, four steps. Step one is the European schedule, that big European schedule.
Yeah.
Step two is the meeting. Step three is playing the Russians the week before the Olympics in Madison Square Garden and getting your ass destroyed.
Yeah.
And step four was that first comeback tie. That tie really set things up again. I think it was against Sweden or the Swiss.
2-2 tie.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Lance, thank you again for showing up. I greatly appreciate you, my friend. I love you. Have a great night. Maddie, thank you for bouncing on tonight. Again, I do apologize about the non-hockey talk at the beginning. If you didn't see the beginning 20 minutes of the show, please go back and watch it. It's very important for me. Thank you. Guys, have a great night. I love each and every one of you. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, from Lance to Scott from The Drop, and Maddie C from Sports for You and Me, saying aloha, mahalo, and I will see you all tomorrow afternoon on the Blue Note Fan Report as the St. Louis Blues take on the Colorado Avalanche. Aloha.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's